I take my Jon Boat out to do some fishing, and I live stream all of it. Things get a little wild. We're gonna turn this guy into fried snapper balls, a recipe I've never tried, and it turned out insanely delicious. Trust me, you gotta do this. Let's go! I'm finally doing it. Y'all have been requesting this. I'm going solo shark fishing and I'm gonna live stream it. I got the Starlink. We have our power station to power it. We have our laptop and we got some big baits. We got a couple of blackfin tuna. This one's all iced over. Here's a head. Eater. How you doing, buddy? Got some chum. You know it's a good time when we're on the Jon Boat. I got something funny to show y'all. This fishing pole right here. Okay, I got it majorly spooled down with some braid. I need to ask y'all if this is normal or not. Last night I spooled it up, this spool right here, and this says 300 yards of 15-pound braid. $23.99, mind you, very expensive, but 300 yards, and this reel says for braid, 15 pounds of braid, it can hold 195 yards. So somehow I fit 300 yards on this. That's an extra 100 yards of line. I don't know. Maybe I overspooled it. Guess we're gonna find out. This is the PC Fun Carbon X3 2000. Guess we'll give it a twirl. Something else that's kind of funny is look at this lizard that I found crawling around my little porch garden. What kind of lizard is this? It's not an iguana, but it's green like one, and it's got this diamond-shaped head, almost like a snake. It's a very beautiful lizard, but I'm not sure if he's here to cause destruction to my garden. Is he eating my plants? What do you guys think about this guy? Is he a friendly or is he a foe? All I know is it's time to go fishing. Boat's loaded down and we're ready to head offshore. Give it a couple of pumps. Say a little prayer. And we'll give it a pull. Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to hear. The sweet, sweet sound of internal combustion. And we're off. What in the world is that? There's a big dead something. Oh my gosh. It's a tarpon. It's a massive tarpon. That's probably like a 80, 90 pound tarpon right there. All these weeds. There's so many damn weeds in these mangroves. Every time I hit these weeds, my engine cavitates, so like, watch. Basically, I can't get on plane right now. I scheduled my live stream for 3 p.m. and it's 2:58 p.m. and I'm still about 15-20 minutes from my spot. So I'm gonna be a little late on the live stream. We've made it to the spot, but I hear some deep thunder rolling from those clouds. Really hope they don't come this way or I'm screwed. I put the sand spike in right there and I tied it off to the engine. Normally I anchor the boat off the bow, but since the light is coming from this way and I'm gonna be live streaming and I wanna sit back here and the camera's gonna be there, you want the light coming from that way shining on me or else I turn into a dark blob. I just hope the waves don't pick up because if they do, they will come over the back of the boat and sink us. That's why normally you don't anchor and tie off on the transom. That's a bad idea, but for this live stream, we're gonna do it. So many wires on a Jon Boat. Nothing about this is kosher. Not even a little bit. Plug it in. We're ready to hit that live button. I got my laptop set up. We're getting internet from the Starlink. We're getting power from our Blue Eddy power station. Our audio is on our wireless mics. Our camera is on this webcam, which follows me around. I'm gonna hit the play button, get the chum out, and it's fishing time. Let's catch some dinner. You can watch this whole fishing live stream on my YouTube channel. If you click on the live button, you'll see all of my live streams, and it was this one right here. I'm fishing live right now looking for a shark. I was fishing with a tuna head to catch a shark, and we had a great time. Thank you everyone that stopped by the live stream and said what's up in the chat. I managed to catch some snapper too while waiting for a shark bite. In fact, I caught a whole bunch of snappers. This was a juicy little snapper, and we're gonna be cooking it up. I'm trying a new recipe, fried snapper balls. There we go. Yeah. We caught a few different species, including this great barracuda, and look at the teeth on that thing. He's chomping, and he's ready to take a bite out of your finger. Probably the craziest thing that happened on the stream is I free netted a freaking shark. And things got a little wild, but you're gonna have to watch the live stream if you want to see how that ended. A pretty big storm started rolling in, and I didn't want my live stream equipment to get destroyed, so I packed up my bags and I headed back home. Live stream is over. Time to ditch this party. Yeehaw! We got our mangrove snapper fresh off the ice, and I'm gonna try something today that we have not yet done on this channel. I wanted to do something fun and also something new and delicious. So I came up with fried snapper balls. We're gonna be taking the fillets off of this snapper and ground it up. Run your knife along the spine of this snapper. You can see the ribs right there in the fish. You're taking your knife and you're letting your knife do the work, and you're letting the bones guide your knife. You almost don't even have to apply any pressure. You just slide your knife down and it'll separate the fish right off the bones. Look at that. Voila. You can see there's almost zero meat being wasted. You can hear that knife runs right along the bones. There's a tiny bit of meat left here on the rib cage bones, but it's such a small amount of meat, and we're gonna give the carcass to the chickens anyway, so they'll have something to peck at later. To remove the skin off your fillet, you just take your blade, and once again, you let your blade do the work. Just let it slide along the back of the skin, and you're left with a beautiful fillet of mangrove snapper. There's our skin. We're gonna discard that. There's a couple of pin bones right here in the fillet. We'll take those out. Give it one last feel for any bones. We're good. We'll wrap that in a paper towel. I picked some fresh basil right off of one of my plants. I'm gonna lay it on the fillet and let the basil flavors infuse into the meat. I have no clue if laying basil on top of a fish is infusing it with any flavors, but I would assume so. Guess we're gonna find out. Fried snapper basil balls. The snapper actually had some roe, which is fish eggs, and that's the orange part of the fish right there. Extremely nutritious and healthy for your chickens. I've actually never tried snapper roe, but I bet it's pretty good. The white chicken on the left is Bunny, and the one on the right is Bubbles, and they sure like themselves some mangrove snapper. It's time to make some fried snapper balls. We're going to be blending up the fish, an egg, onion, butter, parsley, avocado oil, yellow mustard, flour, salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and it's all going in the food processor. Step 1, egg. By the way, these are our homegrown, home-hatched eggs. Onion, butter, parsley. I stick in the 2 fillets of snapper, and kind of a last-minute decision, I add the basil in there too. Might as well ground it all up. Stick that in there. Then we add some flour. I only added a big spoonful, a dash of avocado oil, and a big old squirt of yellow mustard. Get some sea salt in there, and finish it off by grinding some pepper. Dash of Worcestershire sauce. Final secret ingredient we didn't talk about, paprika.
Okay.
This is good. I think it's actually going to have a meatball consistency. Once it's a good consistency, it's time to turn it into balls. I put some flour on the cutting board, which is gonna let us roll these balls. I'm trying to make these meatball size, so I scoop out a bit with 2 fingers and mash it round, and then I roll it in the flour and roll it around, kind of like you're making a snowball. Gently cup it in your hands and flick it back and forth until you have the perfect little shape. The consistency is kind of like a mochi ball. It almost feels like a dessert. I end up making 7 of these balls, which is not bad for only 1 snapper. We'll drop them in some hot olive oil. There's also a little bit of butter in there. And now we're gonna fry them to a crispy golden brown. These snapper balls have a very light feel to them, and they're fluffy, and they got this perfect little jiggle to them. They actually kind of remind me of those famous Japanese fluffy pancakes. It's a soft, airy texture, and I can't wait to try one of these. They're not dry at all. They're moist, fluffy, and they smell like heaven. Here we go, first bite. It looks really good. Ooh. I got to voice over this because it was just so delicious. I forgot to completely talk about what I was experiencing. It almost was like a pancake, but a hearty one. This would be good for dinner and for breakfast. I'm tempted to put some maple syrup on here. There's no sugar though, so why does it taste like a freaking dessert? This is 100% a winner. You gotta cook this for your family. You got a girl you're trying to impress, She ain't leaving after you make this. Thank y'all so much for watching this episode. I upload 2 videos a week, so I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Big shout out to this video's sponsors, Boat Daddy. Find people with boats, events around you, and cool spots on the water. Download now in the Apple and Google Play Store. TampaClothing.com, full print custom jerseys, cut, printed, and sewn right here in Florida. You can't beat their quality and prices. PC Fun premium fishing gear at a low cost. Get 20% off on their website using my code SFFC20. If you want to support the South Florida Fishing Channel, contact me at Heiko@SouthFloridaFishingChannel.com. You can really help me out by becoming a Fishing Channel donor, like these guys. These guys are awesome. Scan the QR code or look for the donate button in the video description below. Thank y'all so much for watching. Till next time.